a missed call, a bad call that happens every once in a while will happen because these are humans. But we've seen over the last 2 or 3 years, it get progressively worse. The late whistle, all these things that are happening. I mean, we saw the Knicks game. They admitted right after the game that it was not a foul, that it should not have been free throws, that the Knicks should have won a game. Like, this is problematic to a point where it could cause major issues because of legalized sports gambling as well. And it's nothing to do with the sports books. They have nothing to do with it. It's a league problem.
I spoke with someone yesterday that was close enough to hear what Devin said. And again, I'm not going to get into it, but I can assure you it was nothing that you don't hear constantly in a basketball game. There was nothing egregious. It was just, typical, that's a bad call. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those type of things. And that ref got too sensitive. And you make a great point, Espo. Those fans should be refunded. They should. And I think a portion of that refund should come from that ref's pocketbook, his wallet. I said pocketbook, but it can go either way, right? But yeah, you get what I mean? Like, it should come from them. Like, at what point are we going to hold these dudes accountable? They have control of the entire game. Like, even the foul situation, like, it's getting to a point where there's no accountability. And this is why there are people that believe in conspiracy theories around referees in the NBA, because you look at stuff like this and immediately I was hearing people chirping, what ref bet on this game tonight? What bet, what ref had Devin on the under tonight? Because 5 minutes into a basketball game, that's egregious, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. The problem too is you bring up the betting. And I apologize, Lindsay.
Yeah,
you bring up,
that's a big deal, Espo.
And now that the leagues are in bed with the sports books, which I have no problem with leagues taking that money, but now it opens up a whole world of other questions that you have to actually answer. You have to address head on. And if your refs are putting themselves so much into games that people are questioning it, that is a problem. And I don't, a missed call, a bad call that happens every once in a while will happen because these are humans. But we've seen over the last 2 or 3 years, it get progressively worse. The late whistle, all these things that are happening. I mean, we saw the Knicks game. They admitted right after the game that it was not a foul, that it should not have been free throws, that the Knicks should have won a game. Like, this is problematic to a point where it could cause major issues because of legalized sports gambling as well. And it's nothing to do with the sports books. They have nothing to do with it. It's a league problem. And for a league that's as progressive as the NBA, Adam Silver needs to deal with this and just say, you know what? We're not happy with where this is at. And we are going to fix this and figure out a way to go directly at the refs where it hurts. You miss a call in that last 2 minute report, you're going to lose money. You have an egregious suspension or ejection that the league determines, you are going to lose money or get suspended. There needs to be a path to punishing, a punitive path to punish these refs for it to actually make sense to them, because it doesn't right now. It's pretty obvious.
You know what else is the most egregious part of this in my book? From everything I'm hearing and everything I understand, this game that Book got ejected last night from counts as a missed game for him when it comes to NBA awards at the end of the season. So Book has now officially missed 11 games this season. And that's unacceptable, because it's not. Now, listen, if Book had done something that we all feel warranted getting ejected, like hitting a player or something of that sort, I understand that. But based off of the pool report and everything we've heard, I don't think this warranted an ejection. So now he also loses that. And that is the worst part of this whole situation. And it makes me wonder if the league comes out and maybe tweaks the rule, because I don't know if this has happened yet in in any other game. I know some stars have been ejected throughout the season, but I wonder if the league looks into, okay, maybe ejection shouldn't count depending on what the ejection was for, or how they go about figuring that situation out, because that should definitely not count against Book.
No, and there's a magnitude of things, Lynch. It counts against the awards, games missed. It counts against your averages. And your averages are how you get those awards. And so he played 5 minutes. Thank God he scored 7 points, because if he would have scored 0 points, it would have made all his averages dip. And so there's so many layers to this. It's a terrible look. They need to be held accountable. And until they're held accountable, this isn't going to change. There was plenty of people talking about how some referee, like, good point. I think Eric just put some ejection shouldn't come from one ref. Never.
I agree.
Never. You should never have one ref. One ref shouldn't be able to kick a guy out. It has to be multiple referees or vice versa. But yeah, it's terrible. And I would hate for Book to miss out on an award, and we look back at something like this and it's like, oh, he missed one more game. And yeah, that's terrible. I wonder if they can appeal that. I wonder if that's one of those things where a player can actually appeal whether whether the game is taken away from him or not. I got to find that out, but it's terrible across the board.